What's the deal, La Familia? You know what it is, Don Tony Teflon, the lady Elamar. And when the Elamar's in the building, you know what's happening. You're now listening to the sexiest podcast in the world, the lady and the Don. Elamar, how are you?
Always better when I'm here. It's always such a fun time. How are you, Tony?
I am great. I'm great. And my camera is messing up for some reason, people. I'm going to do one more thing to try to fix it. Elamar, hold it down with these people real quick. Let me just plug in
Alrighty.
to the wall.
Yeah, Tony was trying to adjust the camera. Right. I think that's the reason why we're late. I know that everybody was here. It was so nice to see everybody in the chat. And we were just trying to readjust Tony's camera. But for whatever reason, whatever he was pressing, it kept going back to the other settings. So, I told him probably because as he posted, he is at the diner. He's probably streaming from the diner, and you know how the electronics go over there. Um, hopefully nothing will be clicking on its own. Hopefully Tony will get his camera ready in a few minutes. But yeah, so I'm so excited to talk to everybody about this episode. But again, Tony has the whole lineup of the recap and everything that we have going on here today. And yeah, that was one of the best episodes I have seen. So it's really cool. It's really cool to talk to everybody here. I see everybody saying hi to me. Let's see. I see Sonic saying hi to me, and everybody else is here. And I'm gonna try to look at this side. So like last time Sonic said I was falling asleep. I was not falling asleep. I tried adjusting my camera a little bit so I'm not looking down too much. So I'm actually looking where the chat is and not completely looking down. I hear Tony in the background. Hopefully everything is okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just trying to see.
Yeah.
Let me see. No, it's still coming. Let me 1 second.
Sure.
Thing too. It's not saying my internet. All right, that should be that.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if it's internet, because I'm not. And it's funny because we do it. I did it, and it works perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it just goes bad. But fuck it, we're just gonna go to the bad.
It was just switching back and forth every time. I think you lifted your drink or you looked away, and it kept switching back and forth.
It's not switching back. It's staying like this. If you're gonna do it, at least do it. And it was right before.
In the other way, right? Switch it to the other way.
Yeah, switch it to the other way and stay that way. Why you gotta stay like this for? It doesn't make no sense. It doesn't. Yeah. What up to everybody, my familiar and all that? And I'm glad y'all here, regardless of my camera issues that I'm having right now. But I will get them worked out. I'm sorry that you can't see my brown skin and you see this whatever they put out there. Looks like a ghost and stuff. But it is what it is. All right, Elamar. This last episode, how did you like it?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, you want to say hi to everybody first?
Sure. Let's go through the people here. Yeah. Super Villain is in the building. Sonic your boy is up in here. Melissa for Abel is in the building. Right. Debbie Baby is in here. Matthew Spruce is in here. Abdul is in the building. Sonic your boy is in here. Sprinkle Kittle is in here rocking with us right now. She does the most is in here rocks. The Man in Black is in here. Bo Ismail's in here. We got the Red Lipstick Club is in the building. Julie B Deep Dives is in here. Prime is up in this piece rocking with us right now. Regine the Great is in here rocking with us. The Rebel is with us right now. Jackie C is in the building rocking with us. Turd Ferguson is in the building rocking with us right now. Doc is in here. Maria D is in the building rocking. Peter is in this place rocking with us. I said WBO baby. Let's say it again. And Dragon King is in here. We've got a bunch of people here. Thank y'all for all coming. Really appreciate it. I know you can be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. And we do appreciate you rocking with us. Elamar, let's go.
Yeah.
This episode, how did you feel about it?
It was one of my favorite episodes. Again, like I said, I looked at the entire series. The only episode that was a slower episode, it was still good, but just extra slow on a scale of what we had. It was the one before this. But
Hmm.
this one, the one that just aired on Sunday, I really loved it. We had many different things within an episode that were like wow this and wow that. It was not, just like one thing at the end. There were different parts from different people within the series that we got either answers for, or some actually action, and some words were said. Yeah, I really liked it. What about you?
Yeah, I thought it was a great episode. One of the greats. I mean, I just the only episode I gave a 10. Did I give it a 10 or 9.5? I
Mm,
can't remember. It's close. It's either
yeah.
9.5 or 10. I gave it one of them. It's the only episode I gave that high. I thought it was, again, you don't need monsters. I know people like, oh, they ain't got no monsters, and they don't like, you don't need monsters to have a great episode. And I mean, even though we got a little something, something, you know what I mean? There's something going on in there and stuff like that. But you know, I don't need them to be, and I like them and I enjoy it. Thank you. The
Mhm.
Rebel Eric said Tony lives from Colony House. The way my internet's working, I must be, and I'm plugged into the wall, and it's going in like this. So I don't understand it, but we're gonna get through this. You know what I mean? And we did get answers, as Debbie Ebby
Mhm.
or Bebby is saying, and that's the most important thing that people really want. They want to start answering questions. They want things to be answered and stuff. And I think that we are getting some answers here. So, what was your favorite part of the episode?
Oh, I had many. I can't pick my favorite one. I like the bar scene where, words were said. Different things were said. There was that confrontation. I love that. The whole ending scene where, Fatima is being dragged into that. Like, there were so many different things. Everything was just almost nonstop, and it started really well too. With to the point of here we are, Boyd, and it we did not have to wait for answers. We were literally thrown into the answers of what Boyd will do. So I like that. They started off right away really strong. What about you? What did you like? What were your favorite things in this
I mean, a
episode?
favorite thing in the episode, and when it comes to reveals, is the Julie
Oh, yeah.
situation. I thought it was going to be something like that going down in this season, or show with the time travel aspect, and we got
Mm.
confirmation on that. So I was happy to see that. I also like the, listen, everybody want Jim to get put in this place. It's about time Jim's gotten put in this place, and this is what we see in here, right, and
Yeah.
everything else. And just for Johnny trying to say not aliens. Yes, it is. You'll see. Listen, this show, and especially this season, they're doing a great job of really trying to make you believe that this whole thing is supernatural. They're putting it out there for you, so that when you look, you say, "This has got to be supernatural. We got to be dealing with witches, and we got to be dealing with magic." They're putting all that out there. They're putting that for you, so that when the turn comes, what you're gonna be mystified by the turn when you see it, and then that's what they're setting you guys up for. They can't set me up because I already know. So, but y'all falling for a hook, line, and sinker, and that's what's gonna go on. I'm telling you, watch it when I say it, and when it's all said and done, this is how it's gonna happen, and that's what it's gonna be and stuff. So that's what I feel is going on. But let's
Okay.
talk a little bit about Jim. We
Yeah.
got the trailer. We're gonna go through the trailer and
Yeah.
everything else. I promise you that. But let's talk a little about the Jim situation. So Jim goes off into
Mhm.
has
My
to be a
family.
man again,
Oh. Yeah.
and he has to go out there and put his hands on Jay's shoulders and
Mhm.
stuff and everything else. And how did that look for you?
Oh, like, the whole thing, like, why he's weird. His actions, I mean, the actor, he plays it so well. I know, the moment I'm either upset or angry, aggravated at a character, I know the actor is doing a great job, because I'm sure
Mhm.
the person himself is not that. He
Yep,
just plays it like that. But the
I'm
hands
still here. I'm
on
still here. Keep talking.
sure, yeah. So the way he put his hands on Jade, I was like, why would you be so aggressive? Like, I mean, there are aggressive people out there, I'm sure, but the way he tries to be, oh, I'm this caring person, my family, this, my family, like, what family? Oh, did Tony drop? Oh, okay, hopefully he'll be right back. No, he will be right back. But it was just odd the way he, first of all, treats Tabitha like literally like a 9-year old. She's a grown woman. She's a grown woman. And he's like, oh, giving her ideas. Like, is she your daughter or is she your wife? Go talk to your wife. I was triggered by That was, everything was off about that. I love that scene. That's why I'm saying the bar scene. That was strong, and the whole thing. Oh, I had to take my family. Really, you lose your kids. You don't know where they are, and I have to take care of my family.
Yeah,
It was triggering.
as he was saying, the whole situation is just like you're not doing anything, Jim. You're sitting here
Mhm.
saying you have to take care of your family, but what are you actually doing for your
Right.
family? But besides just sitting there trying to keep them all in the house, and you're not doing it. You left your kids, you ran off into the new settlement, and now all of a sudden you want to try to do something else. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It doesn't make anything. And you got new member Jen Hack. Thank you, Jen Hack, for becoming a member. Truly, truly appreciate it. Yeah, Jim. If people saying Chris is like Jim got to go. I don't know if they got the balls to kill off Jim. I just don't know. What do you think, Elmar? Did they have
He's
the
a
balls to kill Jim off?
I don't see the reason to do that. I'm not see if the death like that, the death that I want is the death that's important, that's gonna move me. And I'm not cheering for, like, I wasn't cheering for Dale to die. I mean, it was a great death. It added something, but I, Jim is that annoyance, that mosquito that like gives me an itch just looking at it, like not in a good way, like oh um, yeah, I don't see. I'm not going to be moved by that death. I don't want them
Hmm.
wasting death on somebody who's like like a mosquito buzzing, like just annoying. Just go away, or go away. Go to not take care of the family somewhere else, kind of person.
Yeah,
I don't.
it would depend to me on the manner of death.
That is true. Yeah.
It would have to be a gruesome death. Like if he
Yes.
got stuck in like the pool, I'd probably laugh about it. Like
Yeah.
Jim's in the
Right.
pool. You know what I mean? It would all matter how he got. If he got torn apart like Mrs. Lou and they
Yeah.
showed it, I think it would affect everybody because we seen him from beginning, from the jump street. So I
Yeah.
think it would affect everyone if it was something drastic like that. But it all would depend on the manner of death. But
Hmm.
I don't know if they have the balls to kill off Jim. That's a
Maybe.
big character to kill off.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do something like that.
Like maybe protecting his family, because he keeps saying my family, my family. So far I'm not seeing anything family wise that he's doing. So maybe if they would kill him when he actually tries to protect the family in some way, like, yeah, okay, Jim, you actually did something for the family, you died for the family. Hopefully, like torn apart and all that. That gruesome stuff is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he would be torn apart when it's all said and done. If it came down to it, they would have to
Yeah.
do him
And I
dirty
wanted
in
to
order for
show
me
it.
to in order for me to care
Yeah.
about it. They'd have to really do him dirty. It just couldn't be an
Mm.
average death.
Yeah.
It'd have to be something else going on there. All right, we're just gonna skip around. Let's skip around here to all right, the Fatima situation. All right, we
Mhm.
know the body gets found. We know that she's out on the run. We have the Elgin situation. Let's just talk through the whole thing. What do you think is going on with this whole situation with them?
Uh, kind of skipping ahead with that, I Elgin had a bad, like, the way he said, "Oh, he's waiting for you there." That could have been a better lie. He could have said, like, if he was like, why is he waiting? Like, it was just odd. I would have said, "Oh, he told me to get you here because he's trying to cover for you." That's the way to get her in there. Like, you got to be quiet. You got to stay in there. Not, but again, if that was the case, they wouldn't be dragging back and forth, which was very emotional. Now with her, I I feel sorry for her, because this is not her doing it. It's not like it just woke something up in her, that violent side. I don't believe it's her violent side. It's somebody else's, like the entity, or the ghost, or whatever it is that's possessing her body. Uh it's that. So I don't see her actions as her actions. I think it's like more of a, somebody committing crime while they were insane, like a moment of insanity kind of a thing. This is moment of possession. um so I think she's not gonna do well. She may be one of those the big death that we may get. And if she doesn't die, I wonder what's gonna be her, what's gonna happen to her after that whole traumatic experience. I'm thinking that, yeah, there's some, like he said, it's not your baby. So there's going to be a baby, apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It seems
Yeah.
like I'm sorry, these stupid people, and I muted this whole thing, and it's still. These stupid job people, like their friends,
Uh,
just this stupid job chat, and I can't.
yeah, I muted mine and notifications because the emails go back and forth way into the night, and
It's disgusting. It's like they like each other.
yeah.
They don't, and I know they don't like each other, and that's the whole thing. But they're stupid because they have no lives, and no one cares about them after this whole thing. No,
Totally.
it's the truth.
Um,
I'm telling you the truth. This is what it is. They just
they're like work buddies, and they don't like each other, but they still message each other. Oh wow.
because their lives
Mhm.
are so boring outside of work. They have
Oh,
nothing to do. And
oh my
that's just
gosh.
what it is and stuff like that. The real Eric,
Mhm.
thank you. Do you think Jim is a mole or he knows more he's letting on? And are we going to have some flash forwards and backwards to further explain things? I think that we will definitely have some flash forwards and backwards to explain certain things. Jim being the mole, I'll let LMR take it first. What do you think? You'll be able to call in a little bit. I'll put the call in number after we've been on for like maybe like 40 minutes. Then we put the call in number on, and then y'all can call in, and
Mm.
we'll put that up there.
Yeah, I still think the most Donna did it. But I'm still, even though all the emotional stuff with Jim, okay, we see too much of him hurting by himself. We see images of him being by himself and being hurt, actually him crying, not crying, but being emotional, not in front of somebody, but just for himself. I don't think he's the mole. He's quite suspicious with the way he tries to pull Tabitha away from getting answers and doing this, doing that. He wants to slow her down. It looks like he wants to slow everybody down. But I don't think he is the mole because we see his pain when he is by himself. And I don't see Donna's pain when she's by herself. She tried pulling anyway, that's my reason. Too much pain by himself to be the mole.
Yeah, I just don't think it's smart. He's smart enough to be the mole.
Mhm.
For him to get it done, I think that in order for this, if this is some type of experiment, if you want to go, that's the reason why the mole is there. Then it has to be someone who's there since the beginning of the experiment, so they
Mhm.
can do all the readings and everything else and ship this. This is it for now. This is it. I'm gonna blast them right now. Keep talking, Lamar. I'm done with these people.
Yeah, yeah, no
Done with
problem.
it.
Uh, so going back to Jim, yeah, he is, what is he, an engineer? And I know that there are like those jokes between engineer and somebody else, like I forgot what it is, an architect. So I wonder, the way he's thinking, it's not the way others are thinking, but um, I I wonder why he is doing what he's doing, why he's slowing down everybody. Um, if there's a reason, because I don't think he wanted the divorce. Tabitha wanted a divorce, and we know that Ethan is the one who said something like, "Oh, I missed the time." Basically, he was okay with the monsters, right? And he missed the good family times and games and being together. I wonder if Jim is seeing something like that, if he's seeing his family even falling apart even more, and he can't get a grasp of it. And the only way to keep his family together is, well, if they're there in that village, because otherwise, outside of it, there's divorce and there's a broken family within it. It's, as long as he keeps them safe and together, they're going to be a family. So I wonder what his reasons are, if he's doing consciously or subconsciously.
Yeah, Jim, I, it's probably subconsciously, but I think it's the
Mhm.
fact that he was losing his family before he
Mhm.
got there. So he's on that. He's about to get divorced. This is supposed to be their last trip. Now, was it
Mhm.
Tabitha that wanted the divorce, and he was going to use this trip to try to save it, or this was just the end, and he knew it was the end and it was over? So if it's that point where he thinks that maybe I could have saved my marriage, maybe this is his opportunity to save his marriage, and he's holding on to him because he knew it would have been over if they were somewhere else, but now that they're in here, they finally got a chance to really work on it and see eye to eye. But is that
Mhm.
really what you want, Jimbo? Because the bottom line is she didn't want you outside of here. She's in
Mhm.
a different situation where she's going to want you right now. So if she gets back to normal, she's probably not going to want you again. So I think it's a situation going on like that with Jim and everything. I just don't think that should
Mhm.
be uh, a factor. You see, I just told these people the deal. I did, and I did.
And they're replying to you.
Yeah, I told them. I said, if you guys
Ah,
want to talk to each other, you need to have a separate chat where y'all can suck each other off. I don't need to have on no business chat and my phone going off every fucking 5 minutes because you guys
oh
want to
my
say
god.
stupid jokes and post memes to each other. Jesus Christ, kids, they're like children. They're like children. I just can't deal with them. And that's just what it is. But I just got no
Mhm.
time for that stuff. As you can tell, the people in my job are just people in my job. I do not really associate with people. I just go to work and that's just what it is. And I ain't got no time for no bullshit, man.
Sometimes good approach, yeah.
Yeah, I don't got no time for that. You know what I mean? Besides that, all right, going back into to Jim, and that's what we're talking about, right? And everything else. I am not turning into old man. I ain't old man. God damn it. Ain't no turn or
Mm.
anything else like that. But besides all that situation and
Mhm.
everything else in Jimbo, let's go a little bit into uh the best part. We're still talking about Fatima and Elgin.
Yeah.
Is it gonna end bad for Elgin because of what he's doing? Do you see that there's a way out for it?
Oh, it's he may actually die for the cause, whatever the cause he thinks it. The cause is, getting out and getting help. He may be so blinded by that. And it's funny how one of the first people that he sat down with was Sarah at that church, where she was the one, like, oh yeah, I killed my brother. And he slowly started, like taking steps, scoot back, scoot away from her. He was trying to get out of that church. And here he is, the crazy one, kidnapping a pregnant lady and putting her in a cellar. I don't think he will actually die for that cause. Either way, trying to make people protecting Fatima from being discovered, or just somehow just dying on his quest. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or
Well,
that.
everyone knows that I promoted the Don Tony Teflon theory about a jinn being present
Mhm.
into this whole thing. I did do a post on
Yeah.
Facebook today, and and if you look at the name Elgin, means in Spanish, like El Chapo, the Chapo, right? And everything. So
Mhm.
if you look at it like that, and you say the
Um,
meaning
oh.
Elgin, and the last words are jinn, and you could say the jinn, you could say that if this person is influencing him is some sort of a jinn,
Hmm.
then that is what's going on with him. So the name does add up to this that not saying that that's definitive, but it is definitely there without a shadow of a doubt. And I see people in there hating on there. Listen, the actor's my man. We can hate on Elgin as a character or saying he's never changing his shirt now, but maybe washing it over and over again. Maybe
Maybe
he was.
he doesn't want to wash it outside his body because somebody's gonna snatch it, right? They take
Yeah,
their
people
each other
take your stuff
clothes.
in this spot, you know what I mean? They be taking
Yeah,
your
and
stuff
that's
and
you
everything
should.
else and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? And people listen, y'all, you can say I'm
Mm.
reaching, but the bottom line is this, and I'm gonna open up the phone lines for anybody who wants to say something. It's just funny. Like when I see people like John Sanders, and I got nothing against you, John. I'm just using your comment because you put one up right now, and you say, Tony, you're reaching with your harebrained ideas. Now, number one, harebrained is a very disrespectful term, right? That's not like you're trying to say something nice about me here and everything else. But I will say this. I will say this real quick. When you say I'm reaching, I'm not reaching if I'm using stuff that the show has shown us. If I'm using things in the show and using the show, and I'm showing stuff there that lead to me to think this way, that is not reaching at all. That is what a theory is called. It's built on something that is there, right? Besides that, you know what I mean? There's no, it's impossible. I'm not just saying stuff just to say it. You know what I mean? I'm saying things because and I show you when I make a video, I show you everything I see. It's things that you probably missed. Now you could get upset because you didn't think of it, or you don't want it to come true, or anything else like that. But that's fine. In the end, all right. LMR knows the track record of the Don, and if
Yep.
anyone knows my track record for Game of Thrones 2 more, You will see I get much more right than wrong, and
Mhm.
we'll see what happens in the end of this. And I will be here. I will be here, and I have saved comments. And no disrespect, but I'm gonna take your comments and I'm gonna put them on the screen when I'm right about all the negative. I'm gonna put them on the screen so everyone can see it. And let's go. Man in Black and everyone. I'm gonna open up the phone line in a little bit. I promise you, and I will allow y'all to say whatever you gotta say. As soon as we're done, I need to hear LML's thoughts on this, and then you could say whatever you want. I'm here for it. You know what I mean? I'm here for it. All right. Look at people saying, "How did you get Uma Thurman on a live?" Look at that. You know what I mean? That is what it is. She is better looking than Uma Thurman. All right. I don't know if Elgin survives this whole situation. I said it before that real enigmas and theories. He pointed out to me that on the poster, Elgin is with the two other people who died in this series. All right, they put him group with that. So the fact that he's grouped with that does lead to some significance. Everything that we see the guy doing leads to some significance. If it's the same thing they're doing with Sarah, we already had Sarah survive. Did two people survive that are being manipulated by the town? I don't know if they would do that and everything else. You know what I mean? I have no idea what that would be and stuff. So you think he's gonna get killed or no?
I see him dying for the cause, whatever the cause that he thinks it is. It would be interesting to see him die. I mean, I don't know what the point of it would be if he would survive. I mean, I'm sure if he survives, they're gonna. I have trust in them. They will make it good. I'm hoping they'll
Listen,
make it
horror
good.
shows, black people usually don't make it. I mean, boyd's protected, but besides that, but you go through the history of them. They usually don't make it. So I don't know. I don't know if he make it. I don't know if he's gonna be the one to break the code. I don't know if that's gonna happen and everything else like that.
If they make his death interesting, I would love that.
I appreciate you. I don't worry about the haters. I always tell you, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping, baby. And I love it when people don't agree with me, because the more people that agree with you, the more likely you're wrong. So, I've learned that too. You know what I mean? And that is what it is. I don't know if he makes it out. I mean, there's so many ways. If he gets caught, because we see in the new trailer. Well, you haven't seen the new trailer, right, Elamar?
Actually, I didn't see a lot of it. I mean, I saw it once, and it's quick, so I didn't dive into it. But
let's roll it real quick.
Emma is missing. We know that she's afraid.
I'm trying to protect you.
They think that we don't have what it takes to find her.
What is it? She wants us to follow her.
We proved that this place couldn't break us. Stop! You can either lay down and die, or we can say, we're taking our lives back.
It seems like Boyd's going on the assumption, we know what he's going on the assumption from here that the creatures took Fatima, because he's acting like where he's talking is that like the monsters took her, like she's gone, she's missing, this place is not trying to break her. So it's like he's trying to blame it on the place right now. But we see Elgin in the background, just stand there looking like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, let's find her. Yeah, let's go that way. It's over there. Yeah.
Without a doubt. Thank you for the super chat. Is this show going anywhere? It seems like no real plot, and we are 3 seasons and 3 years deep. We don't even know what the show is about. I don't know about that. I think that we have gotten some answers, and I think that that it's going pretty good. Me personally, I don't need all the answers in one season. That's not what a mystery box show is. It's supposed to give you some, answer some questions, and create new questions. And Liz, when she came on, she said that people are going to get answers this season, and you're going to get some new questions, but she don't know if it's going to be like the end. And John Sanders saying, just like Game of Thrones. It's not Game of Thrones. It's 100% different. Number one, Game of Thrones comes from a book that has the whole storyline out there. The people that did the show decided not to go with the book, and then they kicked George R. R. Martin, the guy who wrote the book, off. And they decided to go their own way and think they could do it better. We see that happen all the time with comic book movies when they try to follow comic book stories, and instead of just following it straight to the letter, they want to put their own twist on it. So I can't say anything like that, you know. And I don't think it's that's what it is. When George R. R. Martin was involved, Game of Thrones was an amazing show. As soon as they ran out of source material, it didn't work so much. You know, and
this show is getting better. I think it's getting better. It's so difficult. It's not an easy thing to do, is to have a season by season getting better. And I think it is getting better. More interesting for me.
Me too. I think this is the best season yet.
Yeah.
So I you know what I mean? Yeah, I think this is the best season yet and everything. And he said it was overrated like Game of Thrones. I don't think so. I don't think this show is overrated. I think it's exactly where it's supposed to be. Me personally, if you feel that way, then you have the right to your opinion. You know, as like I said, if you don't like the show, people, you ain't got to watch it.
Yeah. And I think it depends on what
really
people wanted
simple.
from it. It depends on what people wanted from it. The first episodes pull us into, it's going to be a mystery. It will have some weird twists. It said science fiction, right? So there's going to be some weird stuff that is not everyday stuff. And we have to find out and decide what it is that it's going to be. And in the moment, there's going to be a lot of noise because my cats are being funny today. Anyway, so yeah, I completely love it. I knew what I'm getting into, and I would like for them to stay on that. I don't want them changing genres all of a sudden, like, and it becomes something completely not what they were saying, completely not the way the first three seasons were. I really want them to stick to what they're doing because it's working.
Yeah, I think so. I'm with the show. I think the show was right and everything else. The camera has went off again, but I'm defending the show and the camera's going off. But it is what it is. You know, I like everything that I'm seeing so far. And again, I think the show is doing a great job. I like the acting in the show. I like everything about it. So. And I like that it's not a book. I like the fact that I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And everything. So I like let's be surprised together. Let's everyone be surprised. That's all we can do. All right. So we looked at the trailer, and as I said, it looked like Boyd was trying to act like the town took her. I mean, that's what it seems like. Odd
thing, though. Do you think that they're gonna believe him? I mean, it's monsters. There was no body, right? She's missing, meaning she's not dead. So they can't find a body or a person.
And by saying this, I guess if everyone's concerned, the way they all say, "Ooh," we have to assume that Donna ain't dropped dime either about this. She's kept her mouth shut so far. Because maybe if they knew like she killed Tilly, they wouldn't be so interested in finding her. They may just think she ran off because she killed Tilly.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like, let's find her, let's put her upstairs so then she has a great, go when she walks in her sleep and murders people. Excitement, not the excitement they want at the colony house.
Yeah, so you would have to assume that that's what's going on. You also see a scene with Tabitha and the children. It's the girl child coming to her specifically saying they want them to follow. And she says, and we can see that Tabitha's the only one who could see the child. The daughter's right there. She can't see it, but she believes. She believes her, and that's something that I like to see. The belief. She believes that she's actually seeing and is willing. Looking at them and asking, what are you seeing? Blah, blah, blah. That's what more people need to do in this place, is start to believe shit. Start to believe what other people are telling. And I think that's what it comes down to in the end. You got to start believing people. You can't just go out there and just be like, you ain't seeing nothing. Like, that's what Jim does. That's how Jim be reacting to everything else like that. And I guess Julie, with the thing, obviously the thing she's been through recently, that she would, really believe it and everything else. So let's just talk about the Julie dropping the rope to Boyd. How did you like that whole situation?
That was a answer. Like, I know that this is one of the things we were discussing. Like, who did that? Who was there? He was tied up. How he could? It's impossible for him to get a rope, and that is true. I mean, we see now that it was Julie. I am really curious about if this was like an actual time travel, or like what was happening to her in real time, as you know, when she just started having those seizures. Was she still having seizures as this was happening? So technically her body was in one place, but then her consciousness and I guess her body, she was in two times and two, well, one place two times in two different times, doing two different things. So that was an interesting split. I like that approach versus she time traveled, meaning her body disappeared and she went somewhere else. So it's a
Mhm.
different thing. I think it's a different approach to so-called time travel. I cannot stand time travel. It's almost always done not the right way. Not, I don't even know what the right way is. I haven't
Mhm.
seen the proper way. So for me, seeing what was happening to her, I see it more of not as time travel per se, but more of other dimensions, times, and projection, maybe. It was really cool to see that it was her doing it. I am surprised though why she did not connect the dots. Didn't they talk? Didn't she hear how Boyd got out? Did it ever got
I
to
don't
her?
know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's ever told anybody
Hmm.
about that. Did he
I
say
don't.
that?
I couldn't remember.
I'm not sure if she would be aware about of that whole
Mm.
situation. The man in black says, "Who was Martin? How did he know Julie but not Boyd?" Supposedly, well, that's not exactly the way it went. So he says Julie, so he knew
Hmm.
he in the way he asked, it was almost a question, like Julie,
Really?
like
Yeah.
that, like he was questioning, make sure it was her. Then,
Mm.
so I don't know if he truly knew Julie, but it was questioning. But it seemed like he knew her enough to know the name, right? Maybe he forgot what she looked
Mhm.
like, or maybe he knew her as a baby, and now
Mm.
she's grown. He was like Julie. Now he had to know who Boyd was, because if he didn't know who Boyd was, he wouldn't have brought up Boyd's wife.
Exactly.
He brought up
Yeah.
Abby to Boyd. He could have brought up Big Bird to Boyd if that was the case. But he said specifically,
Right.
you know, what if Abby was right? So he knew that Abby had relations to Boyd, so he must have known who Boyd
Mhm.
was. So he
He knew who
definitely
to quote. He quoted his wife.
yes. So I look at it more like that and everything else. As for she was in two places at one time. Yeah, we seen that before, when she was doing the screaming and she was locked up in there, right?
Mhm.
So instead of screaming at this particular time, now she's having seizures and she's in there. But the thing is that she's able, in whatever form she's in, it's astral projection or whatever you want to call it, to affect the world that she's in.
Mm.
And one thing that we can learn about this that we could take is that Boyd was able to do the exact same thing, but he was able to get into that realm that they were in through the faraway tree, right? So we know that the faraway tree can put you into some type of astral projection mode when it leaves you in there, because that's how he got to be there in the first place. So the faraway tree definitely has that stuff in there.
Mm.
Again, yes, the other creatures, they knew Julie's name. When the guy says it, when Julie, you don't remember me,
I
right?
still wonder what that is.
So everyone in there knows everyone. That the
Mhm.
other creatures say we're keeping Randall. So everyone in there knows everybody and everything else. As for who Martin is, there's no. I mean, I know I keep hearing people saying he's Randall or he's somebody else. I think Martin may just be Martin, and I don't
Mm.
know if he's going to be anybody else or anything like that. I think he might just be Martin. I mean, you can't do it to everybody. You can't have everyone being
Right.
somebody
Everybody's somebody.
else. Some people just got to be who they are. I think Martin just might be Martin, but the fact that he's been there, he might have
Yeah.
been watching, like the way these entities can see everybody. Maybe they were making Martin watch him too at the same time, or
Hmm.
Martin overheard them talking or something like that, or maybe he's got in the hive mind with them somehow, because he did have the worms in his body, and the worms in his body were keeping him alive. Now, the question to really ask is, if that is the astral plane, then where was Martin's real body while
Hmm.
he was locked up in there? And if
I
that's the
see.
case, where,
Yeah.
where is that? But the weird thing about it is that Boyd, that had to be Boyd's real body, because when he came out, he was still in his regular body. He wasn't on the floor
Yeah.
doing those seizures. So the faraway tree was able to take his real body and project him into this astral plane place. And then he was able to exit when he lit the fire out there and enter when he lit the fire. So some people have the ability to go in there, I guess Boyd did at the time with their physical body, and some people get to go in there astral. But the thing we can see is that she did affect what was going on in her ass. She was able to physically touch the rope and throw it down.
I do wonder if that what was it? Was it a well? I guess he was in,
It's a
right?
well.
I
It's
wonder if
definitely a
it's
well.
still there, like if it matters at all, because like you said, his body was there, right? He wasn't having seizures at the moment. So I wonder if it's important at all. But again, maybe it was just for the plot that, he has to be stuck somewhere, something has to be done, and somebody has to save him. But when you mentioned those seizures, the when Ethan was having that seizure in the camper or wherever they were in that after the accident, I wonder the dream that he woke up from, I wonder if it wasn't a dream, if it was actually, if he was projecting somewhere and he saw what he saw somewhere else, or maybe he did. I can't remember if he did something in that while he while he was out, while he was having those seizures, whatever he mentioned, if he did anything. Because if Julie was able to do things in the moment that we are, like in the present of where we are, she went back. I wonder if anybody, like if Ethan, for example, or anybody in the future, whoever had a seizure and they don't know what was happening to them, if they actually went and did something during that time.
Yeah, does she
Yeah.
remember everything that happened to her while she was out there? And if this is the case, then everyone who has a seizure, do they all experience the same situation, or is she special? Again, in my them being in a nightmare realm, and that's a theory I came up with and put out there. And I've seen other channels now all of a sudden that they're explaining my theory. Kind of funny how that happens and everything else.
No credit given. Ugh.
But but in the nightmare realm where they are located at, all this stuff would be possible. All these things would be able to happen inside that. It would explain everything that we have seen so far and everything that's going. There's nothing that can't be explained if you do it that way. And the thing is about it is they don't know that they're in this realm. They don't know that they're in the realm. And it's really when you learn that you're in there that you can start to interact. It's like when there was a Freddy Krueger with Dream Warriors. When the Dream Warriors were able to get their powers is when they started controlling their dreams and trying to take control of their dreams and stuff. So it really has to come down to that. These people have to realize where they're at, and when they finally realize what they're at, then they'll be able to control more of their powers and stuff. Because obviously this is just a situation here and everything else. You know what I mean, and all that stuff. Now, now Kerry said, Tony, calm down. People been bright up dreams. What's that mean? Even me 5 months ago on your live when I called in and said dreams will explain everything. So number one, I'm not saying that they're asleep dreaming. It's not what I'm saying here. So I'm not having that and anything else. I'm not saying that whatsoever. What I'm saying is they're in the dream realm and everything else. So yeah, I'm not slinging ego, Kerry. You know what? Today is not the day. Today is not the day. It's not the day. It's not the day. It's not the day. Today is not the day for me. Any other day would have been the day, but today is not the day, regardless of who you are, regardless. Because I'm just not here to argue about something that I'm not trying to argue about with people. 100%. I'm not here to have that. You know what I mean? About saying anything else like that. All right. At all. Let me find my channel real quick and see this live stream. People gotta go in the box. There we go. All right. Yeah. That's that. All right, there we go. Anyway, besides all the stuff and everything else and all that good stuff right now, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just not. I'm not here. I'm not here for people to try to insult me in the chat. It's not gonna happen and everything. You can say stuff to me and everything else, but you know what I mean. But I ain't about none of that. You know, today's just not the day for me. Anyway, besides that, LMR, I will give them a chance. The chance. I will. I will. I will. I will. I will. I will give you the chance right now. Right now, anyone in here who wants to talk to me, and again, I don't need you to agree with me. I really don't at all. But you have to be somewhat respectful here. You can't just start saying crazy stuff. And I'll open up the phone lines for anyone who wishes to call in and speak to LMR.
Yeah.
You can even just talk to LMR. You ain't got to talk to me. You can talk to her. She's a very beautiful person to talk to. She enjoys talking to people. She really does. And I could give you, and you could talk to them and her and everything else and all that good stuff.
Tony, going back to the death during dreams. Here in those dreams, or not dreams, but here in this world, they can die. Do you think that, like, what happens to them after? Like, if they die, do you think their bodies, like, they literally die, or something happens to them? Like, do they end up being kicked out of there?
Yeah, if you die in the dream, you die in real life. You know what I mean? That's what it is. If you die in a dream, you die in real life. That's the way I feel about it. You know what I mean?
Do you think their bodies end up like on a walk, like Tabitha was found, by some hikers, technically alive? But I wonder if they die here, is their body kind of stuck wherever this is, or is their body kicked out of the hole wherever this place is? Like somewhere out there being, like chewed on by not tigers, or what I'm saying, like, mountain lions and stuff.
Well, thank you, Lori Bain, for buying the book. I truly appreciate it and everything else. I said I want to talk. I told you the phone line is open right now. Yeah, y'all can call in right now. The phone line. Let me put the number up here. Right now. I'm about talking. I just don't want to be. You just can't insult me and think that it's cool, because I'm not trying to be insulting to anybody at all. So the phone line is right there. The phone number is on the bottom. 518-290-0848 is the number to call in. 518-290-0848 and everything else. That's all I'm saying. You can say whatever you want. I don't care about that. You know what I mean? That's fine. You know what I mean? That's cool and everything else. You could do it. You could do it. You know what I mean? But yeah, you call in and everything else. Johnny Trotting, she says it can't be a dream. It makes no sense. And would be a bad reveal. You would have to explain exactly. Again, I'll say it straight up. I don't think that they are asleep. I don't think they're sleeping. I don't think they're laying somewhere with things to their head and they're dreaming. I think they're inside of a dream realm. I say this constantly and it doesn't get through to people.
I wonder if people, because there's that connection between the Nightmare on Elm Street, right? They are, but those people were dreaming. However, they were technically in the dream realm, but in order for them to get to the dream realm, they had to fall asleep. In this case, we technically don't know how everybody ended up over there. I mean, usually it's on the road, right? What do we see if there's a forest? Like, we're kind of like try to fall asleep, or we try not to fall asleep when we're driving, right?
Yep, exactly. Let's take this call first. Who's this?
Shelly.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon, the Lady LMR.
Hi, guys. How's everybody doing this evening?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm fine. I just wanted to talk about some things to see what you think about. So first of all, I'm hoping that the purpose of the show is to show generational curses and what happens to people. That's what I hope. I don't hope that it's a dream realm or anything like that, because it's been so much symbolism, right, from different periods. It's been so fascinating, right? And to find out how it's all connected. And I just think that all of them are taught. It's just like when you make decisions, whatever has happened, that it's caused all of this. And it's generational curses where it's affected people and their generations are in this town because they didn't do whatever happened, or they're not the reason it happened, but they're there. So, but I just feel like Elgin is like a ghoul, like a kidnapper. Like his whole facial structure has changed. Like he's not even the same person he was when he came. So it's just so sad that all of this affects people when they come to the town. And I just hope that they figure it out, or all these people like Julie and the rest of them will be locked up, and it's just going to start over again. So I hope they find some resolve to it. So, and I told you that Fatima was pregnant, and that picture showed that something was busting out of her stomach, and I don't know what she's gonna have. Like, I guess that's what I'm so interested. What is it going to be?
Yeah, she just posted a thing on Instagram with a fake fat stomach. Like she had a bunch of them too. It was just like one for like maybe 3 months, one for like 6 months. So by her posting those pictures, we can imagine now that the baby's going to grow rapidly, or whatever's inside of her is going to grow rapidly, and we're going to see it. And so, you did call it, and I 100% you call it, and I'm glad that you did. And I would not be mad at it ending anyway. Your way, I think, is a great call, and I think everything you're saying, a generational curse, I would love to see that go down. I would not be mad at that, and if that's the way it's going to be, that's the way it's going to be. I'm about it. I have no fight in this game. I don't care how it ends. It don't got to end the way I said it. I didn't write this show. I'm just here to enjoy everything. But I like the generational curse. I could see it being something like that. I think that would be a great ending.
Well, that's what's so great about the show. I personally find it fascinating with the different things that they do with it and how they're tying things together. I don't know why people are so upset that they don't have all the answers. It's a show. It's the third year. We're not going to get all the answers. So all at once, but I really like the show and enjoy it, and I hope the writers continue to do what they want to do and hopefully have a satisfying ending. But it is going to be interesting to me to see what's going to happen to Elgin, because I don't understand what that thing told him that he could possibly believe. I just don't understand it. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? What could she have possibly said? We gonna go home, and she in the condition she in. What could she possibly do?
Yeah, I have no idea. It's not like she looks like someone that you would trust right off the bat, right? It doesn't look like some trustworthy person or anything like that. So I don't know what she promised them. Collard greens, something. She got a bowl for him when he get up out of there. Yeah, she said that's the only way I could see it. You know what I mean? Because that's all she could give me.
Well, it's gonna be interesting. I'm so excited to see what happens and see, episode 9 and 2, and so we'll be talking about it.
All right, thank you for the call. Please call back again.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
That's an interesting thing. Generational curse.
Yeah, if it just keeps going rapidly around, and then everyone are over here with some, everyone's connected here somehow with these people. You know what I mean? I think that would work. You know what I'm saying?
But then hopefully, if Jim and Tabitha have any other relatives, hopefully that generational, if that's it, or has anything to do with actual blood, I mean, that would kind of end with them, unless From Town kicked them out, or one of them to, multiply later. But interesting. And yes, for Elgin, that is such an interesting observation with this face. I don't think that just the structure of his face, it's part of that, but his expressions, which I guess make the structure of his face, he looks different. And he's not talking. And what is this kimono lady telling him? Because we don't know half of the conversations they're having.
Yeah, what does he think this chick is? Does he think, did she say something to him to make him believe in her? What was it that flipped the switch? People asking for the numbers 518-290-0848. It's on the bottom of the crawl, right on the bottom of the screen. It says it right there, the channel to call, the number to call in. Call in. We are here to take your calls and everything else. We're about that life. 518-290-0848. Again, you got to talk to me. You can talk to Elmar if you want to. It's all good. We are here.
Can
to
they
take
hear me too? Or I
Huh?
mean, can you think?
They won't. I don't think so. They can hear you on their phone,
Oh, got it.
but they
Got it.
wouldn't be able to hear you. Then they have their
Okay,
phone.
that's why I'm like extra quiet during that time because I don't want to interfere with the conversation. But that was a great call. I mean, I enjoy all the calls, but this was I'm pretty sure it was mentioned some time before, like the whole family thing at some point. But this would be interesting. The whole thing, my blood is your blood, but like that has something to do with the blood.
Yeah, definitely. All right, this is 540. Oh, they hung up. They hung up, and now it's 816.
Tony from Kansas City.
To accept, press 1.
What's going on? You're
Voicemail,
rocking with the Don
press-
Tony Tough Time Lady Lamar.
Hey, how you doing, T, man? Hey, what's up? How you doing, LMR?
We good.
Hey, man, look, I got a theory. This is Tony from Kansas City. My bad. I got a theory. What if the kimono lady was the first chosen one? What if she was the one that came in there and told them a story and gave them a promise that she'll be back to come and rescue them? And let's say the townspeople found out about her and grabbed her, drowned her, or something like that. And that's why we always see her in water. You know what I mean? And Tabitha is pregnant with one of the kids that she's supposed to rescue.
All right.
I mean,
I think that the kimono lady, if she was victim of the town people drowned her. Now she's come back to save the children. The only problem I would have is that why is she going to Elgin of all people?
Because he had a dream about the Lake of Tears, and Ethan also had a dream about the Lake of Tears. So some kind of way that the Lake of Tears is important to the show.
All right, and then him kidnapping her and bringing her and holding her against her will. You think they would just not, she wouldn't say, "Hey, tell everybody this is what I'm about," and I'm trying to do right by them.
Yeah, I mean that's why. LMR said the same thing, that we really don't know what she's been telling them. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if she was saying, "Hey, look, man, I've been trying to rescue these kids for centuries now, and I need your help." So we really don't know what's going on with it. But I mean, I just think that she's more important to the story than they letting us know. And there's some reason why she's always wet. You know what I mean? Whether she's rubbing on her face or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, she's soaking wet, and she tried to drown the dude in season 2, right? So I don't know if I could see her being good in the end. I mean, I like the theory. It sounds good to say. It's very plausible. I could see it happening, but that would mean that she would have to be good, and I just don't know. I just can't get there with her being good. I just can't get there.
I understand. Well, I got a second thing. I think everybody need to lay off Jim because people keep on forgetting. It's only been 3 people in that town that ever seen the monsters in action. And one of them is Boyd when they tried to break him with old girl. I forgot her name. I'm sorry. And the second one is Donna when they sat there and killed her sister in front of her. And that broke her. Even though she's trying to stay strong and look strong, it broke her because she tries to keep the people up in that house safe. And Jim will be the third person. And everybody keep on forgetting that Jim ran after a woman that was about to divorce him anyway, which is his wife, I understand, and got a whole house pushed on him, crushed down on him. And he watched 2 people die trying to save her. And one of the monsters killed the bartender in front of him. So that might have broke him, and it's probably the reason why he's acting the way he's acting now.
It could be. I still don't know how the monster was standing up underneath that rubble. Like I still don't get the physics of that.
I still don't understand it either, man. But I'm just saying that he was the third person that ever watched the monsters in action.
Listen, I'm glad that you are defending Jim. Jim needs people to defend him. It shouldn't be all one-sided.
Hey, look, ain't nobody saying, hey, man, we don't really know what he was thinking that whole entire night with them two dead bodies in front of him in his house on his chest. We don't know if he was saying, man, is she even worth it? We don't know none of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because you got to remember, he ran in to save her, and a whole house crushed and landed on his chest, and he watched two people die in front of him trying to do the same thing, save her.
Yeah, that's a good.
You know what I'm saying?
Those points are valid. I think those are valid points that you're making, and we'll see. That theory sounds good. I don't know. I just can't get there with her being good, but maybe she is.
Yeah, we really don't know because, like they said, she might have been when she tried to drown him. She was trying to save him from the music box.
Could you know?
So we really don't know.
Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it and stuff. You know what I mean? I've heard it. So it could be. That could be.
Yeah. But all right, T. All right, Eleanor. I just wanted to say hi to y'all and just give my little theory.
We appreciate the call. We'll definitely discuss it a little bit because Eleanor can't hear Lamar until you hang up. So I'll have a discuss our thoughts on your theory right now.
All right, thank you.
All right, one, bro. What do you think about that?
I'm gonna go regarding Jim first. Yeah, I mean, the dude is running under, like, I gotta save her. Who's gonna be watching my kids? If she dies, I'm gonna be the one having to take care of them. So no, that's just a joke. So yeah, he was running up, for her to get the babysitter. Like, I gotta get her back. But for the oh gosh, what was the other point? Sorry. Was it Elgin? No, I'm trying to.
He said first, number one is that lady good she was really the first chosen. Got caught by the townspeople, drowned in the lake, and now she's coming back to help save the children.
When he mentioned that and then the lake of tears, I mean, maybe that's what did they do back then? They drowned. If somebody was a witch, right? Maybe she's kind of
like it was was that witch or vampire? Like they would drown
witches. If you would float, if you drowned, you were innocent. If you survived, it means you were a witch and you were burned or something.
Yeah, either way, you were gonna die.
Right. There was lose situation. So yeah, and it being named Lake of Tears, maybe that's when they were drowning. I don't know who they were drowning. She does look like she might have drowned. I mean, yes, I don't know. Maybe she was not drowned or drowned and then burned because she's extra like falling apart, not just dripping wet. She is dry as dry can be at the same time. So something happened to her. Not fun. And no wonder she's angry. Or I'm not saying she's angry, but she's on some kind of a mission. And based on her death, who knows? Maybe anybody would be like that. So the whole good and bad thing, it kind of, the lines I think fade as more time progresses, as things happen. Lines between good and bad can be, blurred depending on what happened.
100%. This is 815.
Fatima.
What's going on? You rock with the Don Tony Teflon and Lady Lamar.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Elamar. It's Fatima.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. Okay. I was late today, so I don't know what all has been discussed, but I did get a little bit of a snippet with the kimono lady in Elgin. So Elgin's been sus since he got there because when he first got there, he had his seizure, and whatever happened, everybody who have a seizure got something going on. And then they become in touch with the town. But when Ellis got stabbed and he went to take them over there to Christie, and Boy was like, "What's wrong with you?" He looked at him, he had this weird look on his face. He was like, "Are you all right?" And he was like, "Yeah." But it was just something like, I don't know, he looked like he knew something. And then once he started having the visions with this kimono lady, I think he just put two and two together. Even when Tilly told Fatima that she was pregnant, it kind of like snapped in his head, like, "Are you pregnant? Oh man, you the one they probably been talking about." So it was just kind of like he was putting things together in his head, and then the kimono lady came along, and it was just maybe solidify everything that he's been seeing since he got there. So he probably think he's doing the right thing, but I don't think he's doing the right thing at all.
Yeah,
But
I'm with you. I don't think he's doing the right thing, but she's definitely gassing. That's all we've seen. I do like the theory that she's the first chosen and she's trying to help, but I don't know why she would go to Elgin for help out of everybody. I think she'd go to somebody else before that. And the way she be popping up and scaring people, ain't good people usually don't do that.
I have one more theory. So it was just kind of something like when Sarah said kill the boy on her arm. What if Fatima's having a boy and that's the boy she's supposed to kill, because this whole time travel thing, or like the way time works there, it doesn't work the same. So maybe they knew what was going to happen and they were just telling her, I don't know. So that's kind of my theory. Like Sarah got it wrong. Obviously it's not Ethan that she was supposed to kill, but or maybe it was Elgin. Shit, somebody needs to kill him. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
Thank you. I'll go off so Ella Mark can talk.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Bye,
That
guys.
was a good call. And I'm thinking when he dies, like maybe it's gonna be with a baby mobile that he made himself. That would be funny. He made that, and what's on it? It's like what was it? Pearls, a spoon, and other things. So I'm thinking, yeah, if he's gonna die, somebody needs to kill him with that thing, creepy thing, like floating around. And who gives a baby, sharp objects and things that baby can, choke on? Not choke on. I guess choke on too. That would be funny.
I could have whoever this is, hold on. Let's get them on.
Real Rebel.
What's going on? You rock with Don, Tony, Teflon, and Alamar.
Hey, Alamar, what's up, TD? It's Rebel Eric.
What's going on, Reb?
So look, I got a couple of theories myself.
Go ahead.
Now the kimono lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just think she might be just another evil entity. She ain't about nothing. She, like Martin said, it's worse things than the monsters there, right?
Mm-hmm.
She could be just trying to get somebody's baby. She just doing her own little side mission. You know what I mean? She might be mad. She sacrificed her own baby for the town or whatever you want to call it. So she just trying to steal somebody's baby. She probably trying to turn it into a monster or somebody, making Fatima eat rotten food and blood and all of that stuff. So I just think maybe she's just another evil thing in the town, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that she's helpful at all. I don't think there's anything good about her. If she turns out to be, they pulled the wool over my eyes on this one. But I think she's evil.
Yeah, I think she's evil. I think she's just trying to just something else that's evil in the town. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm with you with the dream thing. Like, I like all of your theories, and plus your theories, it don't match with everybody else's theory. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's another reason why I like your theories. Like, when I hear other people's theories and stuff on other people's channels, they all kind of like copy off each other, and then you can't be hitting theories like right on the head. Like a couple of them theories, I was like, oh yeah, they must have had some leaks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't come on your channel and then be like, yeah, I told you Julie threw the rope. Like, ain't nobody know Julie threw the rope. It wasn't no inclination or nothing about nobody Julie threw the rope. So, like, I like your theories because at least your theories, it might not be all the way it, but it's like in the realm of what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't get
and
it.
I always think. Go ahead.
No, I don't get it all right. You know what I mean? But I'll be around it, though. You know what I mean? I'll be around it and stuff like that. But I don't get it all right at all. And I think it's
impossible. And I think and like you said, like you've been saying from the beginning, you got to be at least a little bit simple. At least, you know what I'm saying? It got to be a little simple. It ain't going to be too out there. And your stuff stay right in the middle. So, like, with the dream thing, look at what happened with Tabitha. She falls out of the window. She wakes up. Now, you ever had a falling dream before?
Of course.
and you getting up. I had dreams where I felt like I was drowning, or I felt like I was getting shot. And I wake up like, whoa, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? So it could be something to it with that. You know, she woke up out of something. Now she could have just like poof and just disappeared. It ain't like she was asleep, but she was definitely in some type of realm, like you said. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I'm with you on that.
Well, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. You know what I mean? Other people, they you know, like I said, the other person, and I hate it. Like Kerry was a good person. And I hate, but you can't just be in here just running your mouth to me like that. I'm from Queens, New York. There's only so much I'm gonna take, and I'm not gonna scream at no lady or anything like that. You could just say something like, "Yo, Tony Teflon, this, that, and the other." But what I'm talking about when I say things about things, it's like if I'm here and I put something out and I put it out one day, and then I hear another YouTuber saying the exact same thing the next day, and then people want to say, "Oh, well, everyone has the same theories." No, I've been in YouTube for a very long time. I've seen it happen over and over again of people taking people's shit, and it's not. It got nothing to do with that. I don't care. I just wish that people would just, if you can agree and just say, "Hey, I agree with this, and let me expand upon it." That's all. It's not hard to do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, every time you drop a theory, I ain't never heard that. You know, it's always different. I ain't heard nothing about the genie stuff until you said, I ain't think it was gonna be Aladdin and his genie in this, but I definitely believe it. You know what I'm saying? It might be Jafar doing this. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then one more thing. The time paradox, I think, was a game changer because it's massive, right? It's like if Julie don't throw that rope, then the boy don't help her with the monsters, you know, or get her out of that out of that state. So I think the dream thing, like I'm not a real big fan when they go into like time paradoxes and stuff like that. But if they do it right, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Because the time stuff is like, it's massive. I don't care what show you then watch or what movies you watch. When you doing time travel stuff, it flip your brain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it's easily you can easily mess up time travel. So you have to be careful.
Yeah, man.
You gotta be real careful.
Yeah, so
because it can end. It could fix any problem you put forth with time travel, and it can make the ending as simple as it gets. You know what I mean? So that's the problem with it.
That's why I think we probably get eventually some flash forwards or some type of flash backwards or something. I mean, I know you started watching Lost. Did you kind of finish it or anything like that?
I haven't finished it. No, I'm still watching.
Yeah, they get into the little try and travel thing too. And then one thing about Lost, they had a lot of seasons. So let's just enjoy it while we're here, man. Let them keep on going. Let them keep cooking. You know what I'm saying? But the time travel thing is definitely a massive, massive thing that they brought into it. I didn't think they were gonna do it, but we gonna see what happens.
All right, listen. Thanks for the call. I'm gonna let Elamar answer everything you said.
All right. Okay, TD. I'll be easy.
You too. One.
Good, great call. And the whole time travel thing, there was one movie, something like, that was an interesting one. I did enjoy that. It was out there. But for me, it has to be done right because it can be really messed up if they do it the wrong way. It can, like you said, it can fix stuff, explain everything. Oh, because time travel. Well, it's easy, but they can really mess it up with one wrong move.
One wrong move, and it's all over. All right, this 707.
From Tess.
Ooh.
To accept, press 1.
We rock with the Don, Tony Teflon, Elamar. Who we speaking to?
It's Tess.
Test.
Uh-huh.
All right, what's going on, Tess?
Hi. So I think I missed something in maybe a live stream or maybe in another video that maybe I just missed.
Okay.
But like season 1, you convinced me of the alien
Mhm.
theory, and now it's a djinn, and you like were so
All right.
like dead set. It's
All
not
right.
magical. So
Yeah.
I'm curious how we got here.
So can I explain that to you? Let me explain it to you real quick. I do believe that there's aliens in this whole situation. I'm not getting off that. Now, if the alien turns out to be now exactly what is an alien? An alien is extraterrestrial. That is someone that is not born on this planet. You could say God, if you believe in God, would be alien to the people on the planet, just like Thor would be an alien. Anything not from this realm is an alien. So we're talking about a jinn, which is just a name of an alien, it would still be considered an alien because it's not from this earth.
Okay.
All right. So that's the way I look at it. Now, as for this magic stuff, I totally do not believe this is magic. I 100% think this is technology. I think they're trying to make everyone believe that it's that, but it's not. And I said it from season 1, and I'll still say it. I believe that there are people like humans living in the 4th dimensional realm that from Jade's quantum computing that captured an alien. Now they could have captured the jinn, and that they're using this powers to experiment on people. So whether I say alien, you want to give it a name, I'll give it a name as a jinn. To me, it's still an alien. All right. So that's what I'm looking at here. So I do think the alien has been captured by humans, and humans are using its powers to experiment on other humans on this earth. I think that's why Martin lived so long with the worms, because that was just an experimentation to see how those worms affect the human being.
Okay. That makes sense, because I was so confused in one of your recent videos. I'm like, what? He's doing the jinn thing? Because I know of that as a magic user. So
it seems like it always
seems
like magic when you can't explain it by science, right? They say magic is unexplained science, so it may seem like magic. Even if you look at the Doctor Strange movies or any magic movies, and it seems like he's doing stuff, but what he really is doing is pulling power from different dimensions and putting them in the dimension he's in, and it's manifesting the way it does. So truly magic really isn't in magic. So I think it's a situation going on like that. Like if they're in a dream world, in a dream realm, everything that would look magical in it because it's a dream, but a dream is in essence fake of everything. It just appears to be happening like that.
Okay. Well, thank you for clearing that up, because
No
I've
problem.
just been like, what happened?
No, I'm not going off. If I'm wrong, I'm still eating the chip. Guaranteed. I'm not going to be wrong. I'm very confident, and I'm not getting away from it. I'm not going to go off, but I will say where the evidence points me. I'm not going to just die on a hill. If it becomes crystal clear that this is what's going on and everything I said is wrong, I'll be the first one to come out here and say this is what's going on. I was wrong. Right. So I go where the evidence points me, and this is where the evidence is pointing me that somehow they are in some type of realm, a dream realm, and that's why everything is reactive like that. And each one of these people that are inside of this realm have all contributed a little bit subconsciously to the stuff that we see inside of the realm.
Yeah, no, absolutely. With all like the different items that are important and all that stuff. And like the motel thing, they pointed that out. That was really interesting.
Yeah, the motel, I think, is someone who had a dream that in this realm, someone remembers seeing the sign and they remember seeing the pool, but they didn't go inside the hotel and didn't remember the hotel, so they couldn't put that in there. So that's why that's there.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, no, I'm totally with you on the alien theory. But I'm also like, it's either your theory that I'm totally on with, but then there's also, I forget his last name, but I don't know if you remember, you had him on once, Taryn. He has that very elaborate
Matheru, Mr. Matheru.
Yes.
Matheru.
His theory is like really elaborate, and like, so I really bought into it too, but like they're completely different, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know.
Well, listen, he says that there's a boogeyman, right? That's what he believes in his theory. You hear Ethan talk about a boogeyman. The boogeyman is the person who comes in the dream realm, right? That's the guy who's in the dream realm and everything else. So if there is a boogeyman and he's in the dream realm, we will both be somewhat right in there.
Oh yeah, that's true. That would be nice.
You know, so you can't go wrong with either way. But keep the faith on the alien. Don't let people get you off the horse. We're gonna be right in the end. Trust me. Stick with me. We're gonna be right. We're gonna prove them all wrong.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for calling. Appreciate the call.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. That's a good good call. So yeah, I'm here to explain any way I feel. If you ask me, I'll explain it to you. You know, I'm not and everything else and all that good stuff. I'm here to explain it.
So
I'm here for that life.
All those theories, you know, I remember, I think one of the first things on season 1 when we started reviewing it, I really wanted it to be some kind of experiment, and I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe it. I would love. I'm not leaning towards that anymore as much. You know, some scientists sitting behind a like invisible something, just like making them twitch and poking them with those sticks or something. But that was one thing that I really wanted it to be, like an experiment of how far we're gonna push them and what are they gonna do. But I'm fine with whatever it is as long as it's done well.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
See what this is.
It's Turd Ferguson, the turd that won't.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don, Tony Teflon, and Lady Elmore.
What's going on, my friends? What's going on?
What's going on, Turd?
Tony, not much, man. I still hold true to the theory that I was telling you guys the other day about my whole thing about it being Julie just telling a story from a Stephen King perspective. But thinking more about what you were saying about it being like a dream realm and all that, it got me thinking kind of like did you see The Cell with J-Lo in it?
I did not.
Okay, there was a movie back years and years ago. It was J-Lo. She was experimenting with like going into like a dream state to bring minds together to help people with psychological issues, and they get this serial killer, and she goes into this dream state with him to kind of dissect his mind to figure out where this girl is. So that your theory is kind of giving me those type of vibes where like everybody's in this like shared, not necessarily dream, but dream state.
Yes.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I would think of it as, something like that. Like, you know, just like an Inception where they had a bunch of people inside the same dream, but instead of being in one person's dream, they're in the whole realm of dreams. So they're all up in there, and they're not fully asleep because that's why they can sleep in there, but they're walking around. Just like we seen Boyd inside of the room with Martin, right? We seen that, you know, Julie went in there in some form of dream, but Boyd was in there in a regular state. And I think that's what's going on with everybody there. I just don't think they realize that they're all in there, and that's why they can't access or anything. And they would need to realize that.
And also, like, if we're going down that road, did you ever watch Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise?
I did a long time ago.
Do you remember the end of that movie?
I do not.
Spoiler alert for a 20-something-year-old movie. Like, at the very end of the movie, the customer support or tech support or whatever tells them that Tom Cruise had a choice to make. Either he could stay in his lucid dream or he could jump off a building, which was his greatest fear. So with Tabitha falling from that lighthouse, it kind of seems like maybe that kind of a situation if we're going with your dream theory.
Yeah, you know, it could be in there. You know what I mean? It might be that. It might not be. You know, it could be wrong. We'll see in the end.
Right.
I just put it out there and stuff because that's what you got to do. You got to put stuff out there. You got to put your name on stuff. But again, the book thing that you put out there with Julie writing the book, I could see that being in the end, that this is all story that she's just telling, and at the end she's just going to be at a publisher and pushing a book across a table and everything else, and that's just what it's going to be. I mean, we've seen that kind of in Game of Thrones with Sam writing the book of A Song of Ice and Fire when it ended, so I could definitely see that going down like that.
And the other thing, it jumped out to me the other day because I've had to rewatch this episode a bunch of times and the first episode. But if you look at it where, I forget who said it, I think it might have been Victor, I'm not positive, I can't remember right off the hand, but where they said, the end is in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the characters were talking to each other. I think that was the characters talking to us, or the writers talking to us.
It could
just like they did with when they were all these like Reddit theories that they were sussing out in a couple of episodes.
Yeah, it could be. I think that it ended in the beginning. To me, I think that means that Julie or whoever, someone of them's got to go back in time and prevent the sacrificing of the children. And by doing that, that shuts down the whole place and no one ever ends up here and it's done.
I would agree with you on that one as well, my friend. I would.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to have to happen for that. And I think that's how the whole show ends. Is someone goes back there, prevents that sacrifice from happening. If it's a dream and they made a wish, prevents the wish from happening. And then none of this ever happens and From is just gone and it's over. And everyone's gone about their life.
Right. And the other thing that's been bothering me for a little bit, and I noticed this, and I don't know how many other, but in the ambulance, the stretcher that Tabitha was lying on,
mm-hmm.
If you look, it says Dr. Marbus. I don't know if you've ever heard of Dr. Marbus, but he was like an evil entity back in like the 1900s that an author wrote a bunch of books about him, where he's a card player. And you notice the cards are pretty prevalent in, I mean, granted, there's not much else to do there, so people are going to play cards,
mm-hmm.
but there's cards all over the place. There are cards in the White House, and there were cards, the tarot cards, and all that other stuff. So I got to thinking about that, where I'm kind of wondering if it's like a play on Dr. Marbus as well.
I have to look him up and see. I have no idea about Dr. Marbus, but I'll definitely look it up and see if I can figure something out on it.
Yeah, I'd check it out. It's along the lines of Dr. Marbus was like a gambler, but he also had the power to control electricity. Even if there was no electricity around, he could make a television turn on
mm-hmm.
without it being plugged in. He could control all sorts of electricity and played mind games and all that other stuff. So I got to thinking about that the other day too.
I have to take a look at it. Sounds feasible, especially if they put it on the stretcher. It has to mean something.
Right. If you look, it's like if you blink and you miss it, or if you blink you miss it. But yeah, it says Dr. Marbus on the stretcher or around the stretcher.
All right, I'll definitely listen. A lot of people, I've heard that from the beginning, people think it's witches, and it very well might be. It very well might be witches in this whole thing controlling this. I don't know. It's a good possibility that it could be. So it could be something like that.
Yeah, I who knows right now? But hell, if I'm wrong about the story, I'll eat the chip.
That's my burden to hold. That's my burden. I hold that burden.
All right, my friend.
All right. Thanks.
You take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for all the work you do, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate your support.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right. Peace.
Very nice.
Think about that, Elmar.
Huh. I don't, they put a lot of different hints of all kinds of things. So that's another possibility, right?
It is. People are calling it rapid fire today.
Yeah. Yeah.
To accept, press 1. To
person
send a
didn't even
voicemail,
say their
press
name.
2.
But we'll see who it is. Who you're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon Elmar. Who we speaking to?
Hey, what's going on? Chess players. Teflon.
Who was this?
My brother. This is chess players.
All right. What you said, Tesla?
Yeah, chess players.
All right, that's what's
so
up.
I feel like after the last episode, episode 8, I cracked all this open, you know. And I feel like they kind of put it in everybody's face, but nobody's really saying it. So what's going on with my whole thing on this is Victor sat there and told the story when he was talking to, when he was talking to them in the basement, and he was telling them what happened and how it was the boy in white.
Yeah.
And he went over the whole story of the past and whatnot. He finally remembered and everything. So later on in the episode, Julie goes and travels. She goes and travels back into the past. And she talks to the guy that's chained up, Martin, and then she goes through like 3 or 4 different zones. She goes where she sees Victor or hears Victor and her mother talking as they're going through the tunnels. Mm-hmm. And then there's another point where she hears the Ankui children.
Yeah.
So with this happening, we know basically at this point in time that there's time travel that's possible.
Yep.
So why is nobody talking about at this point in time that the answer to fixing this is basically going through time and traveling back to what's happening? We heard Victor say that it starts from the beginning, and with the Ankui children having their hope poured into the trees. So with their hope being poured into the trees, why is it not that when characters that in present time are going back and they're doing things like okay, let's say this. She goes back into time. She talks to Martin. She throws the rope down the boys. She also hears the Ankui children.
Yep.
Why is it not that she is not at a possibility to where she can help save the children when she goes back, when she hears the children? There's also a point, where Martin tells her that it's not safe to be where she is. The same thing that he told Boyd when Boyd was talking to him.
Yeah.
So we know whatever is in that time frame as a monster or whatever it is in that time frame. But at the same time, I feel like they can, like the hope that was poured through the trees and whatnot was also a point. Sorry, I got kids in the background. Was something for the characters to be able to go back in time to be able to stop or prevent whatever happened. I'm sorry, my kids are.
You good.
Hey, so I'm just saying, I feel like it's going to be something with time travel is what I think it is. Where either it's Boyd or either it's Julie and her daughter, or either it's Jade. One of them have to be one of the ones that go back in time. They're gonna to save the children or help the children, and then things get fixed from there. And that's my main push on this.
All right. We just talked about that a little bit. And, I agree with that situation. I think in the end, when it comes down to it, someone's going to have to go back in time and prevent the sacrificing of the children. By doing that, you stop the whole thing. You shut it all down.
All I wanted to say, brother. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Thanks for the call.
Great call. Interesting concept of that. Yeah. But
100%.
what do you...
Let me say these things before.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
The real rebel Eric, he gifted a membership. Thank you for becoming a member. New Slave City, thank you for super chat. Says, I think Fatima was pregnant, but they're trying to get someone to sacrifice the child, just like Sarah said, sacrifice the kid. We actually talked about that a little bit. We got one from Maria D. Said, based on Tom's combo with Jade about a natural and man-made, perhaps Jade is looking too deep into the symbol, and that it's about the roots that make the symbol. I wish they follow the roots the roots origin from. So yeah, I think that works. Roots origin from 100%. I think Jade has made that connection to it, and then that's well, Victor's made that connection. I think they got to tell Jade. Jade wasn't there, so he would have to tell Jade, and I think Jade would get that. New Slave City says also a lot of times sacrifices have to be willing to really work. That's why Fatima was locked in the room, forced her to sacrifice the baby willingly. I think she would take this.
Yeah.
From
John.
What's going on? You're right. Oh, he hung up. No, well, thank y'all for the super chats. Truly appreciate it. It's truly appreciate it. Truly
Going back to that whole time travel thing, what if the problem is that they actually went back, or they're gonna go back in time, and they're gonna, as a mother, like mother would say stories of hope, and like, oh, it's not so bad. What if actually somebody tells those stories from the present time to those children and causes all of this?
That could be what does go. Maybe it's a paradox that when they go back, it really causes it.
Causes that.
From
Heroes Gaming.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don, Tony Teflon, Lady MR. Who we speaking to?
Yo, Heroes Gaming. What's cracking like a jack smacking? Hope everybody's having a good night.
All right.
I want to piggyback on what the other caller said about time travel.
Yep.
I don't know per se anything about dreams or anything like that, but I think I have about 4 or 5 different instances where time travel was like mentioned or maybe could have happened. The first one is when the monster told asked Julie, do you know who I am, or something like that.
Yep.
I think that was the first episode.
So
it's kind of like saying like
first episode. I think second. That first
second
episode,
one?
they crashed. She didn't get out. It wasn't the first.
Oh
It
yeah,
was the
yeah.
first or the second.
No, it's the second. It's the second one, because the first one ended with the monsters coming to the camper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that one, and then another one where Elgin wakes up on the bus, and it's like he knew where he was, like he's been there before. And then another one is when Jim's son Thomas calls him on the phone. One time as a kid, and then the other time as a older boy. Or was it both times as a kid?
Well, he had the one time as the kid, and then after an adult voice came on there right after.
And said he was still Thomas. Okay. And then that one, and then you have Tabitha's bracelet ending up there. He said it was hers, but in the actual real life, it was already broken. It got broken at the hospital. The hospital? Did it get broken at the hospital? Okay. And then another one is the other one is Julie time traveling back to the place where Boyd was. And with that one, see, that's the thing, like with that one, did she what happened first? Did Boyd get stuck first, or did she travel back in time? Because it happened, and then this season we're seeing her going back in time to throw the rope down. So what event happened first? Did she travel back in time first, or did he get there? If you're understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah, so she was there when she traveled back in the time. So she was there when he dropped the rope to him. She had to be
what I'm saying is, okay, because when everything happened, where was like whenever he was stuck down there, he got stuck in the chimney or whatever. Where was Julie when he was there? Is what I'm saying. Like doing the show, or was she in town, or and then he came back and said, but he didn't mention anything about the rope being thrown down and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
the paradox, right? That's the paradox when you have these time traveling situations. It's as if, you go back in the time and you go to Einstein and you see he wrote you study Einstein, he wrote the relativity theory, but then you go back in the time and you drop it at his doorstep. Now he had already wrote the relativity theory when you read it, but then you went back in time and gave it to him, and that caused him to prove it.
oh, you know what? I get it now because I was watching what's the Marvel show? Was it Loki? When he gave what's it called it? They went back in time and they gave Dr. Timely his book and they dropped it through his window at when he was a kid, and that's how he got the knowledge to do what he did. Okay. So another instance is when Elgin, he went down in the was it the little cellar, and he seen the body there. It could be Fatima there in a different timeline, different paradox, or anything like that, or it could be somebody else. But I think
The
that's
person
just
had a beard
another.
that was down there.
Oh, it was a male.
Yeah, it had a beard, bro. So I don't know unless Fatima, that baby really changed. It's
Maybe you never know.
Those
With
pregnancy
all the
hormones.
technology, you never know. Never say never. But and then another thing I want to mention, I think that what was the last thing I wanted to mention? Mention that. I think that is it. But yeah, I think it has something to do. Oh, yeah, it kind of reminds me of the TV show. I think you were covering it. It didn't get renewed for a second season. The one with the woman in space, the astronaut.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of reminding me of that when Julie went back in time. It's kind of like being in two places at once. Yeah, I think it's going to be a case with a lot of that going forward when people traveling back in time to fix certain things. The truth is, or the answer is in the beginning. I don't know about sacrificing kids or children or anything like that. I'm just trying to, as simple as I can understand it as of right now, I think it has something to do with time travel and going back and being in one place or two places at once or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Constellation talked about that whole situation, right?
That was it.
But I think the show was a little bit too hard for a lot of people to grasp, and that's why it didn't go. But again, when you're dealing with Constellation, what we're dealing with different dimensions. Well, that's what it was, right? It was alternate dimensions that were there. They were being flipped, and people were being taken from their dimension to the other dimension and stuff. So that's what they're dealing with. We could be dealing with ultimate dimension type situation here, but they haven't given us that yet to really say that that's what's going on.
Yeah, not yet. I don't know. I was just laying a few nights ago. I was laying down thinking. I was like, wait a minute. Oja waking up thinking he's been here before. Julie time traveling. We have Thomas calling Jim. We have the monster calling Julie's name. We have Tabitha's bracelet already there, and she hasn't been there yet. It feels like little nuggets here and there, but not throwing it in our faces.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what happens in the last 2 episodes in the next season. But yeah, that's what I had to say.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. Call back anytime. We're here for you.
All right, man. I'll be watching.
All right.
Okay.
You want.
Good call.
He said a lot of them, but he didn't say the one that I said that was in my video that I just dropped today, and y'all can go check that video out for the number one. No, go ahead, call back. See, someone's on the phone. Glue Guns and Roses. I'm not ignoring your call. You call right back right now. In fact, I will not accept another call until Glue Guns and Roses gets
pressure is on.
Not letting anyone call. Anyone call, we're gonna hang up on you until Glue Guns and Roses gets through. So we're waiting for Glue Gun. What do you think about anything he said, Elamar?
A lot was said. The whole time travel, and it's not just the time. It's because time travel in my mind, I'm thinking it's go ahead, answer it. It's like going with the body to the future or past. She was where she was.
From
Megan.
What's going on? You rock with the Don, Tony Teflon, and Lady Lamar.
Hey, y'all. Hey, how are you?
What's going on, Meg?
So I wanted to say with your video earlier,
yeah.
I'm assuming everyone in the chat has watched it, but if they haven't, your theory is that Julie, Mari, and Randall drag the tent.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, the more it makes sense. And then someone else had commented like it would be hard for adults to drag that tent, but it actually makes more sense. Like when I move furniture in the house, my husband's not home, I'll put like towels or blankets under it. And I can literally move like a super heavy sofa all on my own because it has that fabric under it. So I'm actually thinking that's a really good theory. And then it also opens so many more doors of just like weird stuff that's happened throughout the entire series of lights flickering or all kinds of other stuff that's happened. And it all could be, I don't know if it's like traditional time travel, and I'm not very well versed on like Astro, Bootstrap, closed loop, open loop, or whatever it's called, but it seems like it's overlapping time travel, in my opinion. I don't know if it makes sense, like where it's not like you can just go to a specific time, but it's like, I don't know. So yeah, anyways, it all makes sense to me. I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, I think that a lot of people who try to go in the comments are saying it's too much weight. That's just not feasible, especially when you deal with momentum and you're dealing with a surface as a tent that is a waterproof surface that's very slippery. Once someone grabs something and you all pull and you start running with it, the momentum carries it forward, and then it's a lot easier to push that thing through there also. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen, that they go back down there and they're the ones who pulled the tent on them and pulled them over there to begin with, to help them out and stuff. So I appreciate you liking the theory, but I do think that's the way it's going to play off when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But I do want to say that that's very plausible. If people, I didn't read the comments. I watched it almost as soon as the video came out, but totally plausible. So if there's any deniers out there, I want y'all to go ahead and have a 500-pound man lay on a blanket, and you can drag him around. I'm 110 pounds. I can drag him around all around my house on a blanket. It works out just fine.
Guarantee you.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, people are going to say what they're going to say. I'm cool with it. I just put the video out there, and we'll see what happens in the end.
It's a great video. Look, I'm so sorry you're having a bad night about your aliens. I don't believe you're aliens. I hope it happens, though. I really do. The only thing I care about is I just want Jade and Tabitha. I want Jade to ask Tabitha to move into the bar. I want Jade to go to her and be like, pack your bags, baby. Come on to the bar. That's the only thing I really care about.
What about the kids?
The kids can come too.
In the bar?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Jim doesn't talk. When's the last time? Literally, think about it. Actually, on an all serious note, I do think, remember the phone call that's like, they ain't your kids, Jim. It's kind of true. When's the last time we've seen Jim talk to Ethan one time this entire season? And Jade spoke to him more times.
Yeah.
So they're not his kids anymore, really. Because he doesn't take care of them. That's what I think that was, anyways. In a serious note.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you on the whole thing with the kids and Jade. I'm shipping Jade and Tabitha too. I think he's a better man for her.
Oh my gosh, me too. I want him to whip out that violin, and I want him to be like, my whole life has changed since you came in. I knew back then. And, I want him just to, I don't want you to get copyrighted with my voice and thinking I'm genuine and stuff, but I want him to just belt out all kinds of love ballads to her. And she'll be like, oh my gosh, Jade. And she'll move in the bar. That's the only theory I'm married to.
Yeah, listen, she may be able to play the violin herself.
Maybe it was I heard somebody say that theory. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I hope everyone's having a great night. I think the tent theory is interesting. I think it's very plausible. And in a very serious note, I do think they're not your kids, Jim phone call does have to do with they've made a very conscious decision this season to show Jade being invested in Ethan. And Jim has only spoken to him that one time when Tabitha was gone, like in the first 4 episodes. And he kind of snapped at him because, I don't know, Ethan asked a really weird question anyways. But yeah, anyways, I hope everyone has a great night. I'm enjoying the live stream.
Thank you so much. Enjoy you calling. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I
Yeah,
love that call. That was such a nice call.
it is. It was a great
I
call.
love the energy.
100%.
And she was right about Jim.
Yeah,
All he did is
yesterday,
yell at his kids.
he does this yells. Jim's got anger issues.
Hmm.
You know, I think it's because he wants to be an alcoholic, but he refuses to drink. He may just need to start smoking weed. Jim would be all right. He seems like if he
He needs
smoked weed, he'd
something
be all right.
that he's not getting, and he's not giving because of that. I mean, all he's giving is, shaking his kid like, who was it on the phone? Don't go over there. Where are you going? Where are you? I need to go back to my kids. Like, dude, you just get your stuff together.
Yeah, just in case anyone didn't see that video, you can go back and look at it, and I give more detail on it and why I believe this is what it is. But I believe that what's going to happen when they get pulled inside of the tent, that it's going to be Randall, Julie, and Marielle, combination of them, two of them, whatever, are going to be the ones that pull them in the tent and bring them to safety. Because I think that something bad is going to happen to them. It was about to happen to them, and that's why they dragged them over there so that they can be safe. Because you got to look at what happens when they get over there. As soon as they get over there, they get towards the lighthouse. When they get to the lighthouse, that's when the boy in white intercepts him, and then he goes into the faraway tree, and that's where he winds up in the cell, and inside of the chimney and stuff. So
do you think that happened while they were out at that time, or that's going to happen in the future? And I'm thinking if it happened when they were in those caves.
No, it's already happened.
It's already happened, but wouldn't they have memory of it?
No,
or is it kind of like erased memory?
It's already happened. They've already done it, just like the rope had already been thrown, because we already seen Boyd and Sarah get dragged in. But I think it'll be like a situation, like you say, like Randall don't want to go in that spot. I think that Julie, Randy, and Marielle are all gonna go to that ruin, and they all gonna fall
as
on
in
the
like
floor.
From our timeline in the future, but from their time it already happened basically.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see it happening at some point.
Yeah, we'll see it happening.
Yeah,
at
so
some
that
point.
they have. And I'm curious to see next time. Hopefully they'll show it. I just skip over it. If Julie will have a memory of what happened, because the way she, like we don't know if she's gonna remember. That's another thing, right? So that
She came out of it really quick, and she hugged Ethan. Why would all three of them pull them to safety? Randall hates Boyd for deserting him. I'll explain it in the video, but I'll explain it to you here right now, real quick. I believe that we heard them say before that in the new settlement, there's stuff that's out there. We all know that there's things walking around at night out there that we don't know what it is, but it's not the monsters. They said that they didn't see the settlement because they got dragged past the settlement. That's why they didn't see it. That's what Boyd said. He didn't see it there. So I believe that they're going to be out there, and then whatever's walking around there at night is about to get them. So instead of them getting them, they dragged them away from whatever that thing was that was walking around at night. And that would have killed them if they would have stayed there. So they dragged them away from that situation to save them, to get them away from that, whatever that creature is that's outside the new settlement. That's the reason why they would do it.
And the way the caller made it with, you can put somebody on on a rug or somewhere and just drag them. That's interesting. Like, okay, that's a good procedure if you want to get rid of a very heavy object or a body. It's easy to be done. It's just physics, right? Just make sure the surface is slippery. You have somewhere to push off of, and there you go.
And that's all it is. And again, a tent, if you ever been camping, it's a very slippery surface.
Yes.
Extremely
and at night there's like dew towards the morning, and at night it gets kind of like not wet completely, but it's kind of damp, and it just slides.
Yeah, it just goes. And especially when you get momentum and
Yes.
you're rolling. And once you're rolling and you got momentum, then it even gets lighter for you to pull.
Yeah.
I know people in the comment section, this is going to be 305 pounds. They couldn't pull, please. Of course you could. I've seen people push sleds in the gym with over 350 pounds on it and motor it down, because once the momentum goes, it just keeps going. It's when you stop and then you have to start again, that's when it gets hard. But once you got that roar going, that's let goes, and that's it. You just can't stop. You just got to keep going. And the momentum is a lot. I mean, that's just all physics, and that's just all it is and stuff. I mean, that's just the way it goes and everything else. But we are just about to wrap this up. We have been on here for 2 hours. That's our time limit here and everything. I apologize for anyone in the beginning if I was cranky in the beginning. The day has not been great for the Don, but I'm good here with y'all and LMR. So, but so things irk me sometimes. I'm a human being, man. I'm a human being, right? I just can't be a robot up here and stuff. That's just not me and stuff and everything else and all that good stuff. But I'll be back. And my man Chenga's in the building too. What's up to my man Chenga up in there? Listen, we'll be back. I'll be back this week. I'm gonna do a show with Real Enigma and Theories this week. We're gonna come back on and do something this week. And because it is the last couple of episodes, maybe we'll do some type of priest thing. Friday night I'll be busy because I'm going with I'm watching the Tyson beat the shit out of Jake Paul fight. So I'll be watching that. And Phil wants to do a live stream on that. So maybe we'll see. All right. Take this last one out. Yeah, this is 919.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Oh, they hung up. All right. Well, they got nervous. They
the timing, maybe.
Yeah, listen, Robert Saunders was in the chat the whole time, and then when the phone number popped up, he disappeared. It's gone. I guess it's easy to chat stuff, to type stuff like that and everything else. But yeah, listen, I'm gonna say this. If you don't like the show, I'm here that you could tell me why, and I'm here to do it. But in all honesty, if you don't like something, don't watch it. Don't watch it. I mean, that's all. I love the show. LMR loves the show. A lot of us love it. We don't want to hear that negative shit. But I'm here for you. If you want to say something here and there and give me a valid point on it, I'll listen to you and everything else. But I love the show, man. Sorry for me. I'm not gonna go against it, man. That's just the way it's gonna be and everything else. It's not the way it's going to be.
It's going to be difficult when it ends and then we have to wait. But the wait is the fun time too, because we can have all kinds of theories.
A year to wait, and then what happens when that happens? All these people in the chat, a lot of them won't be in those chats no more until next season, and you won't hear nothing from them. Maybe 100 people stick around usually in the off season, but the majority of people are gone. That's just what it is. All right. It's the same person. This is spam. I don't know who's spam. Wasn't spam somebody? Wait a second.
It's Julie B.
Julie B is the
To
spam.
accept, press 1. To send.
What's going on, Julie B? Why are you spam?
Am I still spam?
You are spam.
What the hell?
Suspected.
Oh, you got me. I'm trying to get you to extend your call warranty. You found me out, man.
Jesus. We were not buying that, Julie B. We're good.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what the hell's up with that. I haven't changed my number. It's the same number. I don't know.
Phil said it happened on his thing too. So that's twice it's happened now. Your number is being flagged as spam.
Maybe I'm just calling you too much. So now it's flagging me as spam.
I don't know what it is. What's on your mind, Julie?
Well, I just want to say, I think, like, I listened to your whole theory. I hadn't had a chance to hear the whole thing when I called you the last time. I listened to you explain it. I watched your video. I think it's fantastic. I think that it would explain everything. And whoever was giving you bullshit in the comments, like, just ignore them. Like, honestly,
I try to sometimes, but in the end, eventually
you're human,
and eventually there's only so much that I can allow you to besmirch my name, whether it's the comments or not. Again, it's not like I'm out here. I'm showing myself on camera. I'm over here. I put myself out there. You know what I mean? Everything. I said, I don't want to lose no fans or anything. That's not what I'm trying to go for. I don't want to block nobody. I don't want that. That's terrible. I'm out here just trying to perform. It only hurts me in the end, right? It's one less person to watch me and stuff. It's one less person that's going to watch my videos. One less potential person to buy my books. So it's nothing I am looking forward to doing. It's nothing I want to do. It's just something that eventually, you know, I gave warnings and they still wouldn't stop. I said, yo, just chill, but they wouldn't chill. And then after that, they got to go. And then the other person just like, put me on in the box, speed dial, speed pass. Well, you're good. Now you in the box. That's what you wanted. You wanted to be bold like that.
Good.
You could have just stopped watching instead of even making a scene about it, right? So it is.
Right. Well, I'm sorry you're dealing with that, Tony, because I get it.
It comes with the you'll see it comes with the territory, and you'll see it'll happen. It's not the first time; it's not the last time. You'll see on your channel eventually it'll come around your way too. It always does, unfortunately.
Well, I've already had some major issues, you know, that started as soon as I started my channel. It didn't take any time at all. Actually, I've had some major issues. I won't go into it, but let's just say it was very hurtful stuff, very nasty attacks that I didn't deserve, accusations that were not true. And I mentioned something about it to you, you know, in a DM, and you said, you know, like if you have haters, that means, you know, you're succeeding, and that really helped. That helped, right. You know, because I'm very sensitive. You know, I've got to get a thicker skin to be doing this. I know.
The number one thing I tell people when they start YouTube channel, and I tell them to ask me what they need to make it, I say all the time, do you have the toughness to deal with all the negative stuff that are gonna come? Because it's gonna come. It's gonna be people who call you stupid. There's gonna be people that's gonna say mad crazy stuff because people are protected by the internet, so they like to run their mouth. And people are always going to say a whole lot of crazy stuff. That's just what it is. That's the way it goes. You're going to have to deal with that, you know what I mean? And you got to have the toughness to deal with that. And if you don't have the toughness to deal with that, then it's not for you.
Well, you know, I could have just given up right then and there. You know, I had issues right out of the gate. You know, I wasn't ever planning on live streaming. You know, I had to go ahead and live stream by myself after having a co-host initially for my first show. And I could have just chosen to walk away, you know, but I love doing it. So I decided I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it on my own. I don't care who attacks me. I don't care. Like, I'm just going to reject that and get a thicker skin because I love this too much to let anyone ruin it for me and take the joy out of it for me. So.
Exactly. Don't let anyone take your happy. Don't let anyone be in control of your emotions, right? And everything. And that's what I tell people all the time. Like a lot of people, they get jealous of you. And all jealousy is, and I'm going to tell you, like, I don't want to get into it. I want you to say your comment, but jealousy, the emotion of jealousy is fear, right? So anyone who's jealous of you are truly just fearful. So if they see your channel growing and they want to hate on you and they're jealous of you, it's because they're fearful their channel will not grow. And that's what it's all about. If you see a guy with a lady and you get jealous, it's because you feel that you can't get a lady like that. So I have no fear in my body, therefore no jealousy. I wish everybody success. I'm playing. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I don't sit here and say, hey, I should be at 250,000 subscribers. I'm where I'm supposed to be. And that's it. And I'll get to where I'm supposed to get to. And that's just the way it goes. So yeah, people are fearful of you. Let them keep fearing you. And you just keep doing what you're doing and don't worry about it.
That's what I'm doing, you know, and I try to, you know, do what what I would like, you know, that whole golden rule thing, you know, not to be cliche, but, you know, I just try to treat people the way I would like people to treat me. So, you know, I uplift other content creators and I promote whoever I can. Anybody that wants to come on my channel is always welcome and I'll promote them. I'm not threatened by anybody. Like I feel like that's how we do best in this community. That's what's so great about the From community. I see a lot of From content creators supporting each other. So I want to do that too.
There you go.
You know, there's always going to be some issues, but you know, you've been nothing but supportive and I'm so appreciative of that. And, but we're only human. You're only human too. You know, like obviously it's going to be upsetting at times. Yeah, it's going to, you know, like get to you a little bit, but you know, like it's the same thing with me. You know, I'm only human. I can't help but feel things. But yeah, it's okay to be a human being and have a human reaction to something. You know, that goes for you too. So yeah, hopefully, you know, people
And if you need more mods, hey, make me a mod. I'll ban them. I'll put them in the box for you.
I don't want them to get mad at you when they stop not watching your channel.
I wasn't actually looking at the chat that much. I was listening, and I heard you say like you were getting insulted. I'm like, okay, who the hell's insulting you? Who do I need to fight?
No, I know. Let's go. We've dealt with worse. We've dealt with way worse than that. I've dealt with way worse. But we got to go. What call do you got? You got a question about the show, or you just want to just talk a little bit?
Well, what was I gonna say? Well, I was just gonna tell you. Yeah, I love the way you fleshed out the nightmare realm idea, because it's an idea that I've thought about a lot too. But like the details you've added to it, I definitely like. It's stuff that I want to talk about and credit you for. I think it's spot on, and I think that people might be a little skittish at first, because it's like you're not saying that everybody's asleep. Nope. They're not dreaming this. Like, nobody wants that. I don't think anybody wants everybody to be asleep, having a shared dream, or a simulation or a coma. That's not what you're saying. That's not what I think it is either. I personally think it's like a real place, like an actual pocket dimension, but it's a nightmare realm pocket dimension. Mm-hmm. That's what I think. So I think it's spot on, and it explains. It's the only thing I can think of that literally explains everything. Sure. All of the seemingly impossible things on this show. And yeah, and I love the djinn idea. I like the way that you broke that down. It fits. Like, you listed all of the examples, all of it fits. And yeah, like, that is, like, if anyone's giving you shit, that is not of this earth. That counts as an extraterrestrial. It still counts.
It still counts. There's no doubt. People don't want it, because everyone hears extraterrestrial, you're thinking ET is some little green man. That's not what it is, man. It's got to be not from this earth. And that's it. It's because you put a name on it. You think everyone's just going to be called alien. No, things have names from where they're from, right? And that's just what it's going to be, and everything else. That's right, Jen Hack. Yep. Elgin. That's right. You're 100%.
Yes. And I like that. I like that connection you made with the Elgin name. I think that people's names are definitely, like, a lot of them are like selected on purpose for a specific reason. That one, that's an unusual name. That seems like it was selected on purpose. So I like that. Mm-hmm. I definitely like that. And I'm looking forward to the next couple episodes, and I can't believe we only have 2 more. Wow, it's going fast, right? Like, this season has just flown by.
Yeah, it is. This season is all over, and everything.
Yeah.
So the jinns are on this earth, but they are not from this earth. They're from a different dimension, and they roam on this earth. And that's where they actually come from, if you really look at it. I understand you're going to go the Quran route and everything else. There's different versions of them and everything else, but they are from a different dimension that own this earth. Just like angels are not from this earth. They fell from the sky and landed on this earth, and demons too, right? Or things like that. But I digress. We could talk about that stuff and everything else and all that good stuff and all that.
Oh, and like I the whole manifestation thing. Last thing, and I'll let you go. I know you need to go. So I've been thinking for a while now that, like, not just people's fears, but other things can manifest in this place. Like, even Tilly dancing in the rain, spinning around. It was kind of like a ballerina. Mm-hmm. In the very next episode, we saw the ballerina music box for the first time. I know it sounds out there, but I think that might have been the reason, because that scene seems completely out of place. There was no reason for her to be dancing in the rain like that. I think she manifested it. Yeah. Not intentionally, maybe, but I think she did.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Nothing that they do when they manifest there is intentional. So subconsciously, the whole world gets built in there. So yeah, it could have been a situation where she felt like a ballerina at that time and manifested the ballerina, the music box.
Yeah, I've thought that for a while, because it's very reminiscent. She's twirling around like a ballerina. So yeah, I think the timing of that is too uncanny, and just the fact that everything I think in the show is intentional, even if it seems random at the time. If you look back, you can kind of make connections. So there's that. There's Boyd sitting in the tent with Sarah, and they were saying, if you cut a worm in half, it makes 2 worms. Why? Because worms are creepy. And then he goes into a dream state and gets what looked like worms under his skin right after that.
Yep.
I think that was manifested by that aversion that he was feeling to worms, because he said they're creepy. Like it all just fits when you go back and look. I think when we go back and rewatch the show, like using that lens, like you can pick up more and more of these connections. I've been thinking about for a while, and then you made even more. So loving your theory, Tony. Really.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. 100%. Are you on after this?
I am. Yeah. I'll be live. I'll be live around like 10:50.
There you go. 10:50. Julie B. Deep Dives. If you want to continue the conversation over there, she'll be on, and she'll be on when I wake up. That's happened a couple of times already.
That's entirely possible. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, because every time I say that, it happens anyway. So then I sound like an idiot because I say, "Oh, I'm not going to do this again," and then people watch the replay and they're like, 14 minutes in, "I'm not going to do this again." They hear me say, and then like the runtime 9 hours, 20 minutes.
Co-host that co-host, she's got to get a better microphone or something. She's always chopping.
Yeah, she has internet connection issues. Yeah, not much you can do. Unfortunately, it's the internet.
Yeah, I figure out something for her and everything else. Yeah. I gave it the whole definition of jinn and everything else in the post. I've done it in the videos. I would go through it with y'all right now, but if you watch those last 2 videos that I did, watch the one first and the one second, I explained the whole thing in there and everything else and how everything connects to this place and the ruins and all that stuff. So just go watch that.
Nice.
It'll be easier. And watch the video I dropped today about, and I'm gonna be right about that too. Watch, y'all see. Yeah, that it was them that pulled Boyd. I guarantee it. I guarantee it's them that pulled. It may not be all of them. It may be one of them, but I guarantee that's what happened. That's who pulled them. It ain't no damn giant spider.
Nice. Yeah, no giant spiders. That's not happening. I'm with you on that.
It's not gonna happen. Oh, you got John Rich said he just subscribed to you, Julie. You look at that.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm not in the chat right now, but yeah, thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it. Thank you for. I've gotten a lot of subscribers and people finding my channel through you. It just means the world to me. I can't thank you enough.
Well, no problem. I don't mind. I think everyone should subscribe to everyone, and everyone should watch everyone, because everyone is good in the community. As long as everyone just needs to play nice, man. There's room for everybody. There's room for everybody.
100%. 100%. Could not agree more. Oh. All right. Well, I appreciate you. You have a good night. Always great talking to you, Tony.
All right, great talking to you too. Good night.
And good night to LMR too. I don't think I could hear her, but I'm sure she's still there. So.
Yeah, I'm sure. So she's gonna say good night to you. She ain't gonna be able to hear.
Okay. Guys, have a good night.
All right.
Bye.
Such a nice call. A lot of good points.
Yeah.
A lot of good points. Good conversation. And yes, the streams. One time, you're right. After she went live, and then I woke up in the morning, and the conversation was still going. That was so nice to see. That was really. That was really sweet.
She's so happy
Yes.
doing it.
Yes.
She loves it.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see people happy doing what they want to do. That's all life's about, is being happy and stuff like that.
Hanging out with people that you like, and you just
That's
it's
right.
fun. It's really fun. And then these are the people you choose to hang out with, not because they're close neighbors, but because you choose and they choose. So it doesn't matter where you are.
I can't wait to see everybody in the chat live at the con, and we could all chill and hang out and everything else.
Right.
I'll be there. Elmar will be there. We all be there. We all gonna be there.
Yeah.
We all gonna be in the con.
And it's so different in person, in a good way. In a
We'll
good
all
way.
be there. All be in the
By
con.
then, we're all gonna be friends. A lot of us already are, but
Yeah, that's exactly where it's gonna go. Can't wait to see everybody out there. All right, this time we're leaving.
Yes.
This time we'll go. We'll be back next week, maybe before it's all said and done, and before that and everything else. We'll give it a shot. But if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace
and stay sexy.